The matches are tough matches near the Adenia and you're buying it. I can't just say Besha will do their job for you, but of course, we need any match.
Because they be houses and yeah.
Debbie.
Because AC Milan they say anything.
Any match, myself.
Tima said you nipa will so crowd 40 years. So team 40 years. This is a team way for one. Na said you to any person.
Oh, and then
noise pollution.
Oh, there be noise pollution, but of course, any match. Yeah, when is a game?
AC Milan is anything.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that now the argument comes from teams like Wodian. Koto Kunya Bai, Kunya Bobe 3-4 matches. On Timikra assist. Same as Brian Mbeumo. Manchester United has struggled to do the job in terms of matches about pre-season.
Who deviated from your topic?
No, make catch you say.
Where a proper deviation?
No, it's not a deviation. I'm saying that.
What deviated? Yeah, Monamako say AC Milan team. Monamako say AC Milan. And now no power baby and AC Milan, yes, and I make catch them say. Yeah, AC Milan team now Mokosho, and yet team Biasa. Because who got team AC Milan team no? You soccer ketu omu 40 years. It is hard to watch for one. And
I make catch you say.
It is sa a Matthias Kuhane and Buemo Sama de Bemi. Ebem say. The
Binyame can say, Mijitu, and your game bia, and your match Eddie.
Sometimes fake.
Mammy come as a million, and your match Eddie. The problem is that more Manchester United for any other fans. No. You are trying to make it look like say, oh no, be a default, like saying I'll pay your working. But the context of it is that who crowd match Akobo Everton here, the Omundru AC Milan and Fekrano. You couldn't beat them.
A trophy.
What trophy? Now the Chelsea what trophies bear for no Akasa. Say our trophies now okay now say a trophy.
Trophy the Yamubo.
Now what's me J
Yamubo trophy.
Oh dear no, any trophy senior.
What the club worker, communion cup. Bunsuya. And the match biasa. And I did him now no di. And when I say said the say blasphemy bi o e kiro no no atenase na omoamu akonkubi eno je na etobi masa momma yem fadwe o
chale
bo na ye bo no momma yem fadwe na munyan ya she Milan for die kwaji Premier League. Look at this an analogy.
Mr. Odie
what say AC Milan for do kwaji Premier League how the analysis no
Odie ma menye meduma
enko anim na
ye share Premier League ni ntimi nje when ni na say whatever the cases are and only there when the time gets there we get it. But Obi share the match not so be jinenia. Jare no jineni. Also share with the ajweni. Manchester United a couple draw. Obi and United fans no celebrate. Into Obi so the corner be ho no jinenia. Allow them. Why? Now it's important that we do that. Mr. And next send your words no yenye live on Facebook. Me who say nkofo ebre ABC on Twitter said they want to watch almost outside of Kumasi.
Okay.
It's Mr. say utie me na o Twitter. Abu say oh me Twitter me post the link no. Kindly retweet for me and share. Message say insure hand and also tweet that on Twitter. Now Omo can also join and enjoy the analysis. Now no pay na godmother CFC say min chairman.
Yeah. Chelsea pa.
Now Pawasem pa.
Yencha good mother.
Yeah.
CSC. Or Chelsea papa.
Yeah.
Or Chelsea pa.
I think she's a military nurse.
Oh, okay.
I think she's a military nurse.
I see.
And as a medical person in the military now. I'll say no afternoon shift. Now it's not in show.
And you know say oh shame. I will and a laptop and
from everybody on Twitter and all the social media.
Okay.
Mobile share and want to say a big thank you to Rich. I think the biggest conversation from the weekend Crystal Palace. Just before I came in, Andy Mama Menyan in say cast for ruling no ABBA. We say Omo qualify for the Europa League and then UEFA for a release say Omo link with Leon owner, your friend John Texan, you know, they had been demoted to the Conference League. Omo koko appeal process or the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Omo ko no cast out hoodie UEFA for earlier ruling. No. So what it means is that Crystal Palace for Ebebo in the Conference League, not the Europa League. Not Nottingham Forest rather will go and play in the Europa League. That is exactly what is going on. But the big one is that they were able to beat Liverpool. I think that it wasn't something that I was particularly expecting. But Rich, I think that we need to begin to pay more attention to Oliver Glasner as a manager. Last season, look at the circumstances around him winning the FA Cup. He mentioned after a game, said before some match, no one Pep Abo at the Etihad. And he told Pep point blank after the game, say Pep, what's our style of football now? He will find solutions to him, and he did. And not against Liverpool. For me, in that nominal 5-back that looks like a 3-back, no, he controlled the game. Although Liverpool scored 2 very quick goals in the opening 19 minutes, first goal in the opening 19 minutes, no, still Crystal Palace stayed in the game as long as possible until they could push for a win. Last season, only 2 draws at home at the Stamford Bridge, away at the Selhurst Park, all against Chelsea. And next week, the first game over in the English Premier League is against Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. Very, very good manager from his days at Frankfurt. You can tell also in the teams now. Say Onyane materials right, definitely he gets the job done. And maybe Chelsea will get an early upset in the season next week. So much Oliver Glasner, because he has showed Anna Slot any Liverpool team. He said you don't play with them. When I looked at the team, man, first off, say Ushe Sane 3-back no boy now. Who's no obo Mac obo Max Lacroix, and obo only 2 wing backs with Tyreek Mitchell on the other side. Then in Fifiodum, he played a young British midfielder called Adam Watson. Now, Rich, England before they say Adam Watson and your typical English number 6. I say, or your Spanish English of a sort, Pedri style of play, deep line playmaking, Rodrigo central areas. No, Rich was brilliant. And now I think that Adam Watson really did put the strings in the middle of the park for team and friend at Crystal Palace, and he was very important in the win. And now he was the main guy in the middle of the park. Just our pass or Thomas Brantia, your friend Ismail Sarr, for them to open up the Liverpool defense. Whilst you allow players to play like this, you're good, no, which players be so more chance that they will hurt you. Yeah. They will hurt you. And only say and Liverpool lineup no, and a slot did not play Domenico Szoboszlai as a 10. For the very first time, and it's going to be clear. Looks like that's going to happen this season. Our branch friend Florian Wirtz will be the 10. Florian Wirtz was in his first role as a 10. On the ball, I think Florian Wirtz was excellent. Say, he created chances, he next picking defenses. He is the best. But the counter press now must lie anymore last season. To press and counter press and win the ball back, no, it's something that I didn't see from Liverpool last season. I think they need to work on it. A lot of congratulations to Crystal Palace team, no, Oliver Glasner, of course, goalkeeper Nick Pope, and everybody. And no, captain, Abrante friend Mark Gay, all of them. Congratulations to them for winning the Community Shield, no? And it sets the tone for the English Premier League. Rich.
After the game, no, Virgil van Dijk say,
yes.
A share game, no, if you say Liverpool here a striker.
You see, who's our coach, no? I am running away from that quote because he said it in contest. In a contest of most of them players now, they have replaced. We say Omo replace Hugo Kitike with Jota Ifeanyi, Luis Diaz, Omo the creative ability of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Abba Beshe Florian Wirtz, then fullback Jeremy Frimpong Abba. So they are replacing players. And he's saying that in terms of out and out striker, down in here, they've not brought a centre forward proper. Who said they played Ekitike right as a centre forward. Then Mohamed Salah came inside as a narrow 11. Then of course, Omunya Abrantia friend Jeremy Frimpong keeping the weight for them. So I think that's exactly what now Abrantia friend Virgil van Dijk Eka. Uchis canon quite be on any yajane. But they need a striker, Rich. They need a proper centre forward in there. Because no matter where you replace it. Also a versatile forward. And on a replacement for your friend is saying
but he's a striker.
Yes, he's a striker, but not on the level of Ishak. Not the number of goals that Ishak will give you. You understand it? I don't think it's a Liverpool near Ishaka. Ekitike now will play from the left to send a Kodi Gapo boy. Then they have Ishak rather centrally. But not rich now. Look at Ekitike. Were you not impressed with Sabo no share? Out of nothing. Outside of the box, he got a job done. So if they can get Alexander Ishaka, they should, because he's, Rich, it's not going to be easy. And now, Crystal Palace for chairman say if there's a possibility Abranti, a friend of Mark Gay, can go. Mundo Deportivo says a Barca show. And that's exactly what it was in the one Gampa trophy, and now 5-0. Rich, you see, I don't understand why Barca were playing a game in preseason. But it was a season Barca for a game no, in the middle of the season. The high line of Hansi Dieter Flick, Rich, was something very, very aggressive high line. And it looks as if last season how they were playing on the ball, off the ball. They don't want to depart from it. And now, Abrante Fernandez Fabregas made a big mistake going away to the Johan Cruyff. Who got back against Barcelona? High line. I think that the first thing that people have to understand is that Hansi Dieter Flick's high line is a trap. Why do I say it's a trap? A trap forces teams to press unnecessarily high and aggressive. And it's just like saying a PSG born, which only PSG kobo, only Barca kobo, and you are too aggressive to press high without having conceding a few things. And that's why for me, I tell you, said their Enzo Maresca here against Luis Enrique was brilliant. Don't press aggressively too high. Find your moment, press when you have to, and then leave the spaces when you don't have to. When you have to do so, no. It was good. It's come for could be 13 minutes, trying to press unnecessarily high, and Rich, they were punished. They were very, very punished by the first minutes. Now you're sure offside trap, baby. Or if you look at this annotation, center line honeymoon, Ronaldo, Raul, Pau, Kubasina, Oma Bendy, Oma Rana, playing come for offside. It is clear. Only Basaka Koba. A rookie mistake to go and press that aggressively high. But
Emma Barcelona is too predictable. Because she coach be very intelligent.
Yeah.
And now she players are pick pockets now.
Yeah.
That space is now be down online.
Yeah.
They can easily score. Easily score.
But you have to be perfect. Because I'm holding line perfect. Because you won it several times. Everybody in the back four. And you're in the same line. So you have to be perfect.
But so when you're striker, you're very intelligent. The positioning.
But you're forgetting that it's not just the striker. The passer also has to give the ball at the right time.
So, and no answer for ball now. Far to space. No unfriendly can come.
Luka Modric has stood in a game with Kylian with Tony Mbappe and they failed to exploit this high line.
Because I'm more man can drop.
But I said we are perfect. On the ball, you need to be perfect.
You need players that can run.
Great, but you have to be perfect with the pass. It's easy. Say easy for you to that. Yes, you can, but it's not easy thing to do. Rich and now everybody in the Barca front line, or assisted. Marcus Rashford assisted. Lamine Yamal go. Fermin Lopez 2 goals and a branch of Freno and Rafinha 2 goals over there. It was a good one for Football Club Barcelona. Medium, I can say, however you look at it. Sa position of Kubasi and Arao, I think that Arao's position will come back to Andreas Christensen. And then the Arao there, but with time, I remember branch your friend Andreas Christensen. And now Chelsea won a final game in pre-season. Now, I think it's a red card in the same match. My own thoughts on the game. I think it's a red card in the same match. Why do I say so? Although say before sending a red card, Chelsea Milan for 2-0. No, it messed up the game. Now I'll explain why I say it messed up the game. Who said? I think that this season, Club World Cup na Chelsea Coco boy. It is going to be a good thing, a very positive for Chelsea rather than a negative. In conform say, oh, because of the accumulated fatigue, any Brenia, they are debating affect Chelsea no one more Club World Cup. I don't think so. I think that from CCA start league, till better match the 15 teams about Club World Cup will be sharper. Also 2 games na Chelsea, Leverkusen, AC Milan. They have been too quick for Leverkusen and AC Milan. And because Chelsea prolonged on the season, went to play in the Club World Cup. Then you had team and friend Bino for Leverkusen and AC Milan for staying around for 1 month and more before starting preseason. Chelsea for rested for just 3 weeks. They have the sharpness to continue playing. But the trick will come in the 15th game, 16th game, 17th game, when Chelsea would have to make sure some managerial players take care of injuries, accumulated fatigue. So I'm expecting that Chelsea from now to game week 15 will have a foothold on English Premier League, and then around that time they'll see how they can manage it. Game Nibia. I would have loved to see how Chelsea would have managed the game after Sarah red card. But however you look at it, you can try to be modest with our brand here friend Joao Pedro, but in 4 games scoring 4 goals and imposing himself in games no bono. I think everybody has seen it. Whether the intelligence to drop deep and combine centrally, or the technical ability to receive the ball in the tight space and create from there, he has that ability. And then of course the most important thing with Enzo Maresca, the finishing ability of Abrantia your friend Joao Pedro has also been there, and he did exactly that against team your friend AC Milan. I say Milan for the ball in the back three, so I was expecting it to be more difficult in central areas. Which me Wadibi Enzo Maresca, and that's what I want to show you on the tactical board. The regular 4-3-3 no boy or 4-2-3-1 nominal formation. Who is a rich? Say Levi Cole Ewa, automatically he becomes the CCB. Say Chelsea shifts into a back three.
And then they need the best sound.
But in the absence of Levi Cole, it means that Tosin Adelaide and Ebabe the centre back and as a CCB. But you realize in the game, say when Chelsea was switching into a 3-2-5 now, it depended on where the ball was. Say ball the Marco Crea side on the left side. Then you will see say James rather will invert. Sabon or James Mossad on the right, then Marco Crea will invert. It looks as he said that is how Enzo Maresca wants to manage the team on the ball in the first build-up phase in the absence of a branch here friend in Levi Cole. 4-1. Nothing new really, just that na Enzo Maresca Emma players know a lot of game time to enjoy themselves. A branch here friend in Liam Delap in go. 2 goals in the game. Estevao Willian came. Good performance from the team all round. Like I've said, any issue, any problem. Now, this season, pre-season match of August, 3 class of Munshebu. Muko Asia on Mosham. Asia on Taiwan for Mosham. Taiwan for Mosham.
Ubejina board you first in our can. Oh, such as AC Milan and you.
When I say any news, Milan.
Meba.
Oba.
Manfuti, Patrick.
Of course.
And also. Chelsea AC Milan and you news.
Una say news Milan.
The Elon class a man for.
Menka say mo as a man for. Mangasa. Una will say in Kofu you hudedi. And I say me any news mami. Na wo bemana oba be sa no.
Afei in chichemu bebree.
Ba nti mami nya madwuma mi na nya news mami metie for no ma waste mo band on your time. Hwem na news mo. So anya me personal interest na me serve wa ha. People like Good Mother FC money are there they be on hwem no. They are those I'm doing the job for. So I have to explain for them to understand.
AC Milan.
And because of Muntie Meyenye.
And now I look at Mandri Bobo.
The Taiwan. China Bongo Grafona no Kobosha was saying. Only on Kobo 00011. Also by a baby, any Bournemouth, Everton, even Florentina crowd this weekend.
But Florentina direct team.
But now David the other Florentina team on a young boy. So the red card maybe. One also the red card. And you come to Matthias Cunha, Brian Mbomoko from Bar, and you see, because of your team state, I don't expect you to talk too much. But they be able to United for me at home. You don't understand say Chelsea winning. That's your problem. Chelsea
Liverpool.
It's unlistenable.
No, hold on.
It's not just Liverpool. In 12 games,
AC Milan.
beating Paris Saint-Germain. Yes, Paris Saint-Germain boy, and I also. Have you forgotten Paris Saint-Germain? Yes, you won Manchester United in that run. Your last 2 Premier League games, last but 1. Yes, you won 1-0 Stamford Bridge. And it's in a 1 share. Yes, you won 1-0 Premier League game before the season ended. 1-0. In 12 games, we have been winning. And who's a new one amount? Yes, you are your show. Of course, it's not the half forest. All the data and stats by send on the half forest. Yes, so everybody will take. If your money may say, yes, similar nothing. Yes,
up and down,
when you're up and down, yeah, you are a show. It's a I didn't.
AC Milan.
And it's like AC Milan. AC Milan, of course, Mary, other one about it's like
a no pay my shower. And now, so she give me a pa. Chelsea much on a 2 poros.
And you poros, and you poros. And you know, poros.
And also Raphael.
Then Raphael more the 2 nets in the outside.
Raphael for Ibia.
One for more
Chelsea difference.
Raphael for who took them out here and wash it.
Took yeah, you fair and
fair.
Oh, baby, I'm a ball now. I'm going to on say spotlight Nedao. Baby, I'm going on.
I've mentioned a lot of it several
times. What me dim community Raphael out there.
Raphael, then Raphael, yeah.
And
Raphael, I don't know.
You shall born into so.
Then Raphael, yeah. Then Raphael,
of football out to say Chelsea players on who say,
yeah, to say, and I'm going to be home. So I play on the body and home.
Chelsea with difference in this problem.
And yes, I think a team who know the Guno because who plays no and can make one football come home. And yes, I think who team Guno.
Yep, your match is now about.
Then
you Lucy.
Now they also be.
So it means that they're good defense.
How is that a good defense? Now yeah, losing no more draw. Also a good defense, but yeah, losing the defense. They put a pause. Now the whole team are
boy. Now, against AC Milan, Liverpool.
Florentina a better team than AC Milan. Oh, Italian Serie A.
Yes.
How?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
My Richard will turn your team to 2 any repower.
Why not to do anyway? Asa Obejina ha. The CEO game cano. Nita Chelsea they don't go back no kwano eja wo de.
Miriam the mayor PM it say o ka say Chelsea share win team na. I think it is true. And you grow obre like you really suffer. I see wow because you are suffering. I didn't in the team share na
similar house. Why oba no pose o en share na match bia so.
Of course.
Let's move on.
No, you see
all of a sudden 10 minutes on Chelsea. AC Milan.
Oh, it's not true. It's only just 5 minutes. Don't do that. A new 10 minutes.
No problem.
Easy man make us with you. De bia say na we. Ye chimu ni ehyewa. Mo ahwe ni ya mo nimegu asesa o mo camp no mo be bresa this season no.
Say
this season mo be bresa o. Because they be chire we nye match, o china we nye match, ade chire we nye match. Sa ade abo season na wi.
Ni mo dey AC Milan nye match man.
AC Buffalo match man.
Yeah. I
won't argue with you. I am done. Oh, match you can't back as one share. Also, fair would die. And then they also have I'm done. And the church, they also share.
No West Ham, what the game? Now,
West Ham, your match for 18 and then match. Manchester United, I tell me to ask you, conform yet United was a United team, no problem. Brandon Bomo fan Basha Minigos.
At least Bobo now.
So he has been better than Joao Pedro.
Obianka, sir.
No, Metianka at least.
But opponent now and the boy, and I'm so weak.
Which opponent?
It's man and look like Chelsea and Philip Prodo.
Which opponent when I wouldn't next year better than Paris Saint-Germain?
And come on, Sina. Any
Mama family code in na kwa homas na
AC Milan match bia
o say for mo say
and open now a minia buzu afene na AC Milan for am AC Milan
na ya sha but we have won the game
AC Milan betimi de junior
side AC Milan team we akwa akira akwa kusu mesrew enkwa akira onkonkusu me pa chopa ene me enye sade no we lose match ya share there give credit where the credit is due. That's all. So, my main for Akwenya so 1 second and wish a birthday to Dr. Love or a room and house agent, Madame Fupa, and then a birthday. Doc, I mean, sure, Mama Kwatintia and Rich. I don't think I have enough time to go through the codes. Endra, you win here. And as we started the season, we started on a bright note. Me assure say we'll continue the streak. Wait to make your screenshot. Which you already, I'm sure, call YouTube, make your screenshot or all of Fifi Man for social media handles. No, good luck, Richard.
Okay, that's it. That's a partner.